Welcome to the Safety Third podcast. In this very special episode, we have our guest, Peter Sripol.
I don't want to be here.
You don't want to be here? You got to say that in the microphone, otherwise I can't hear you.
Oh, we're recording right now?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going. Oh. I thought we were just fucking around.
No, this is how the podcast starts. It's almost like it's like we pretend like we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, but there's generally some sort of rule to this, isn't there?
No.
I think you would figure it out. What are you like 70 episodes in now?
I actually don't know. I don't know, actually. Yeah, we're not over 100 yet, but we're far enough in that we should be better at this.
Yeah, considering I dipped like the potato chip and left.
Yes.
Welcome. But I am back now because I have taken a break from my horrible boat project.
Those are great. I like the boat project.
People are giving me shit about that now.
Kevin's not even here.
We don't need Kevin.
Kevin, what was the comment about Peter's boat videos?
Yeah, who was that on your Discord? I heard something about someone complaining. I want to find out who this person is.
Kevin.
And mail them a boat shirt.
Kevin shared a comment about but I did like the boat video.
Good.
What do you got there?
Oh, I got some rum.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
And what?
Kevin.
I got just rum. I'm not doing so
Wait,
good
where
right
did you
now.
find rum?
Oh, it was the rum that we got for the 4th of July party, but never opened.
Was it up in your house or down here?
It's down here now.
Oh, you brought it down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
I brought it down because my beer trap collapsed, and
that's what you mean by not doing so well right now.
But enough about me. Let's make fun of Peter instead.
Yeah, find me this member. I'm going to mail them a boat shirt, and they could be very happy and very cool and excited because they got some free swag. I'm actually not saying free swag.
Full of asbestos virus or anthrax.
So I sent somebody on the Discord server a video of us on the bear trap, and somebody said, "Tell Peter to finish that stupid boat and do something more interesting."
Hey, the boat is a segue to more interesting videos. That's what I tell myself.
That's the worst kind of feedback because it's like unconstructive and then it just makes you feel bad about everything you're doing. But you can't stop working on the boat because you gotta finish the boat. Won't stop.
Like, let's just say I spec'd out maybe 60,000 for this boat.
Yeah.
I paid 43 for the boat.
Yeah.
And I figured, it only needs like 10 more thousand.
So that's a $100,000 boat.
Bust out another 10,000.
No, seriously, the acronym is bust out another 1,000.
Yeah.
Most people do that maybe once or twice a season and they bitch about that.
Yeah.
For me, it's every 5 days.
Really?
It's every 5 days.
God,
this boat is so fucking ridiculous.
That was like open sauce. It was sort of
just
so bad. It's like
boats are expensive though.
I bought a commercial boat because I figured, it's commercial. Like some of the stuff will be like shittier fit and finish. It'll be a little bit cheaper, but more, durable.
Yeah.
No, it's just shitty fit and finish, and it's just more expensive. That's all it is.
I feel like you compare boats to cars, right? Price wise, and you're kind of like that boat looks like, and you're like, I don't know, maybe like $30,000, and someone's like, yeah, that's $160,000 boat,
right?
And you're like,
and it looks like it's been knocked on shore by a hurricane or something like that. Yeah. Oh, also, my friend says the boat isn't even that bad. It just seems so time consuming and expensive.
It really is because it's like, it's like any other project that we've done, except this is just like the biggest one I've done because it's like this is the problem. Like going back to what I was spending. So I expect 43 for the boat, maybe additional 10 to finish. But since it was sitting on land and I had a workshop to work at it in, I figured I'll replace the engine because it's old and I'm going to keep the boat. Oh, that's 27 grand. Okay, I'll just go ahead and buy that now because I don't have to deal with it later. Oh, it needs a new transmission. Oh, that's another 10 grand.
Like just a different type of mount?
It's different mounts, a different everything.
Oh my god! And then why did you need? What would happen if you stuck with the old?
It's just the big smoky old diesel, and it's a Volvo.
It was running though,
you
right?
Can't get any parts for it. Yeah, sorry, Willem. I hate
it. It was working though, right?
It was working, but it's an old Swedish Volvo piece of crap. No, Volvo. It's good quality. Like I'll in its defense, it's a decent motor. The problem is you just can't find parts for it and anyone to work on it. So it's like, So that's the thing is, I don't want to deal with it.
Trek from the East Coast to West Coast, and you have to go through the Panama Canal. You'll need someone to be able to maintain it.
Yeah, because there's Cummins parts mostly everywhere.
Right.
So it should be easier to deal with.
What's your financial plan for the boat? Like you spend the money, and then is it like a hobby or is it for videos or how do you?
It's for you, Daddy. We're all gonna go on a boat cruise.
Yes, I've always wanted a boat, Daddy.
How many boats are there? I mean, how many beds are there on the boat?
There's only there's a berth in the front of the boat. for like 1.5 people.
Explain that like I have no idea what a berth is.
Because
I don't.
Ask your mom. That's not. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's BERTH. Birth.
I'm not gonna explore that idea right now.
It's berth in the front. I don't know why it's called a berth, but it's called like a V berth in the front of the boat. It's basically
a V berth.
Yeah, a V berth.
Write this down. Okay, continue.
But it's basically the sleeping quarters for the boat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Boat terminology is very weird. They have a bunch of like weird boat names I've never heard of, and like, oh, these are the scuppers. And that's basically it's a drain hole for a boat that's above the water line. Okay. Usually above the water line. What's a drain hole below the water line? That's sinking. That's sinking. I mean, really, honestly, this boat is a fucking nightmare. It's like tearing it apart.
Okay, I have a question.
It's bad.
How do you get into a nightmare of a boat project? Like, did you think it wasn't going to be a nightmare? Like, what was the?
So I've had 2 boats prior to this boat. The shitty solar boat and the crappy Ranger tugboat I had. Both of them were
shitty, crappy big boat.
But they were both fairly cheap. Like, well, the Ranger was kind of expensive, but the solar boat was, I did that myself.
I liked the solar boat. That was so much fun to ride around on. Yeah, we cruised on it,
Kevin. That's where we first kissed.
The clear water with the manatees.
It was romantic. I was Jack and you were
Jack and
Rose.
Jill. No, Jack and off.
Actually, you were towing me in my kayak.
Oh yeah, Sandra was screaming and bitching because like we went through some waves.
Wait, was this a different time you were in the solar boat? Was this other than the manatees?
No, this is when we went to the restaurant on the other side of the bay.
Oh, and we thought the kayak was a good idea and it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah.
And Sandra was screaming at me like I was doing it on purpose, but I wasn't.
Yeah. I don't know how a kayak that's just filled with air can sink because
we were towing it low, maybe?
I think you were towing it and there was a lot of waves and it just like every wave just kept pushing us under and the nose would go down and then we would just start diving.
I'm so glad I was not on the kayak.
See, I solved these problems and that's why I bought a bigger boat.
We Ubered back, I remember.
It was so bad.
Wait, who Ubered back? Was it just like you, me, and... Or who did?
Yeah, no, I think it was you and me and...
Was Chelsea there?
No, I think the girls went back on the boat.
Yeah, the girls went back on the boat. Mm-hmm. And I think Sandra might have came with.
There was like 3 of us. Yeah. We tried to find someone to give us a ride on Twitter, but he was like an hour away.
Yeah, but he was down. He was going to
and I was like, that's kind of far.
But that's who you don't want you to give. You don't want to give you a ride. It's somebody who like drives from 4 hours away.
One time we were in New Mexico in Albuquerque. This was like years ago, and the Ubers are really expensive. And I don't remember what I did. I think I either tweeted or I ran into some guy randomly.
Okay.
We were like just walking out in the street and he recognized me and we started talking to him and we're like, yeah, we're thinking of doing this and blah, blah. And he like offered to give us a ride. So he was just like driving, like drove us across town to like the lifts. They have the lifts that go up into the...
Wait, what was this?
In Albuquerque.
Up the mountain?
Yeah, they have like a gondola that takes you up and you can kind of go on hikes. It's like the very top of the mountain. I don't really...
Like a ski lift.
I don't think there's
not snow.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
Yeah. But he just like, so Fan just gave us a ride across, Albuquerque, New Mexico to just drop us off.
All right.
Did you at least give him some free swag?
I did. I mailed him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. But no, we paid for an Uber that time because we only got one bite and it was an hour away.
Yeah. I'm looking around for some more Arby's coupons. There's no more.
Renty right now.
Would you like some beef ravioli?
She loved beef ravioli. Would you beef ravioli?
Does this expire?
Who wants a beef ravioli? No, it should be fine.
Who wants
a poopy? All right, so...
Yeah, I don't know if I would get a ride from a fan. I mean, it depends, but it seems scary.
Mm-hmm. He was cool. We like talked for a bit.
If it's like a random encounter like that.
Oh, Twitter would be...
Yeah.
Yeah,
not unless I could like creep around on their profile and make sure they weren't some kind of...
We're both strong. We could take
Yeah.
Are you going buck wild? Are you talking right now? Are you about to poo-poo?
Baby's first words.
Here, drink some of this.
It
was okay back in the 10s.
The 1910s.
In the 1910s.
So when did you...
It's too hot.
Is it too hot? You want to take her? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she likes it. She likes
these
it.
things might be temperature sensitive.
Oh my gosh, William, she's dripping.
How do you think I feel?
She's wet and gushy.
But she's not sweating.
Look at, she was having fun. Bring her back.
She's so sweaty.
That's me. All right, so you bought the... What was before the solar boat?
The Ranger tugboat, which is just a It was basically an old man's retirement toy that I just bought because it looked cool.
And you got rid of it, and then
I got rid of it
solar
because
boat.
it's too slow. Yeah.
Okay, and then you got the solar boat.
Yeah. Well, I still have the solar boat, but that's now.
Oh, you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Okay.
Yeah. I just put a really big electric outboard on the back now.
So what did you get after the solar boat?
That's when I got the tugboat thing.
So
you guys never seen that.
So
because I just kept it for like 6 months and then got rid of it.
Why didn't you like it?
It was just a little too slow and people were complaining about it.
So the first boat you got was too slow, and then you built the slower boat, and then you bought another slow boat.
Yeah.
And then you bought, after the tugboat, what did you buy?
I bought this
The lobster boat.
boat. Yeah, this
And that's
lobster boat
fast.
will be fast. It'll do about maybe 25 knots on a good day,
So
and with me shedding $20 every
knots.
3 minutes.
So is
That's
that
pretty
like 30 miles an hour?
25 knots if I'm lucky.
I have a question. Why?
No, wait, now how many miles per hour is
That's
it?
probably, I don't know. Someone do the math. It's probably like 27-ish.
Why is it knots versus miles per hour?
I don't know. Some nautical stuff.
Because they tie knots in a rope and they throw it overboard.
I think that
Yeah.
was the thing back in the day.
but
But
That's
how far were the
insane.
knots? It seems like it would vary depending on who tied the knots.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And there's also like probably some drag in the knots too.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah, because if the ocean current's moving compared to like
so
the
you
wind,
can't
it's,
actually like measure
different.
distance
Yeah.
by just throwing a rope overboard. So, I don't know.
Because like I'm assuming you need to know
Mhm.
like miles per hour, and then your airspeed on a plane, and airspeed and like
Versus
water
ground
speed
speed.
seem kind of
Yeah.
the same exact thing.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
there's like ground
So-
speed and then
Right.
like
So why don't they
your-
just have like
I don't
one
know.
for speed in fluid, where the fluid could be moving? Like why is it knots for ships, and then planes are airspeed, and what is it, miles per hour? Or do they do knots in planes too?
they do knots in planes too.
So how did they do that? They were just
Yeah,
throwing
they just
rope out of the plane.
yeah.
I think it just carried
So it's
over.
really they throw a rope in the water and it's how many knots get unspooled.
Mhm.
But like the first knot that goes in the water there's not gonna be like any pull on that rope.
How many times can you say knots, Kevin?
I think we could
Not
probably write a sentence.
So the less knots are in the water, the less force is going to be
Pulling on the rope. Yeah, that is kind of a. Well, then again, I guess back in the day, it didn't really matter all that much because it's like the ships were like going. It took you forever to go anywhere, so it was kind of like a rough guesstimate, I guess. I don't know what I'm
didn't
talking
think
about.
that. It would have a small effect.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning though, and then it would.
Then it would kind of even out. So
There's
maybe
just-
you have to like let 10
Yeah,
knots spool
first,
out
and
and then you
then-
start
yeah.
counting.
There's just a lot of carryover between that and aviation. Like if you ever look at the boats, like the red is on the port side and the green's on the starboard side for the lights.
They're both
It's
called
still like that on
ports?
airplanes. Yeah. Well, airplanes they actually just do.
A port and an airport.
Shut up. I'm pretty sure it's just left and right in airplane terminology. And then
What's
we'll do
the right
port and
side?
Starboard. Starboard is the right side,
So then,
but it's green on
airport.
airplane
What about air
and
starboard?
boats.
Air starboard.
Aft.
Air aft. Airport.
That's
air
what's
starboard.
What's the butt of the boat called?
Aft, the aft section,
Okay.
the stern.
Where's the
poop
poop
deck?
deck?
Where's the poop deck?
The poop deck is on the back. I
Is
think.
that so that it can get munched by the propeller?
I don't know what that is. I'm not really a boat person that much.
I
I'm
know, but he's, like,
learning
building-
I'm
about
not a
it.
boat person, but
I'm learning
I have
about
more
it.
boats than I do
Yeah.
cars.
Oh my god, he does.
What?
You have more boats than cars?
I think I do.
Okay, so you bought the boat, and it
Mhm.
seems like the vibe I'm picking up is that you wanted a faster boat.
A faster boat with room for activities.
So,
Yeah.
oh, room for activities too.
The whole
Right.
deck is open on the backside of the boat. The reason I'm doing this is because like a lot of people have requested submarines. Like I'm gonna make one out of carbon fiber and titanium, and
okay.
I'm gonna put you in it, Kevin. We're gonna go
Send me down.
explore.
Ooh, Titanic Adventure.
Yeah.
Sponsored by
We're gonna do
Logitech.
No, I just want to do some like wet submersibles and some fun submarine stuff, like a canoe that can like canoe on the top of the water, and then I can like pull a drain valve and scuttle the canoe and turn the dive planes down and actually have a canoe that can like scoot underwater while you're wearing full scuba gear.
So the boat
Yeah.
is like your
The
science
boat-
research
yeah.
vessel.
It's the research vessel for like how many
you have
car
a crane?
batteries.
You need a crane.
Yeah,
on
it's
that.
gonna have a giant crane, so we can put all the
Really?
car batteries into like the reef, so we can
Oh,
figure out
nice.
what's the optimal amount of car batteries to like
Fish
ocean ratio.
thrive on
Yeah.
lead acid batteries.
Yeah, the
Coral
eels
reef, the
need
lead
it.
reef.
Yeah.
I want to see how many eels can we charge up with the battery. With the
I
deep
feel like
cycle.
you're like living like every like 8-year-old kid's like dream. Like this
That's
is what
the
they
goal,
do in
baby.
Minecraft. They build like underwater bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal. So, do you want to join my navy?
Yeah, I do.
All right,
I want
let's
to
go.
I want to sink me.
Okay.
Sink me, daddy.
You will be my first mate.
Yeah. That's Kevin.
I know she's did a big old blowout.
She had a blowout just now, or while she was sitting on me.
Right now.
Okay, thank God she took her.
Big old crap hole over
Cool
there.
bastard.
I haven't experienced a blowout yet.
It's something. It's like, something's not good. Diapers are not big enough. I don't understand it. It's like,
you can put a cork in it, right?
Dude, there's nothing.
Save it all
nothing
up,
can stop it. The problem is
build up the pressure.
it's. All right. What's gonna be the problem with this boat?
The problem with this boat is financial.
It's too expensive.
Oh yeah, no, it's
so
like
you want a fast, big boat that's cheap.
Yes.
How do you get one of those?
You find a guy that likes you.
You
You find a sugar daddy. Yeah.
Boat daddy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically, you find a friend with a boat. That's how you do
You
it.
don't want a boat.
You can be
So
my
now
boat
the
daddy.
problem is I'm the friend now with the boat
daddy.
Yes. So yeah, let's go do a podcast on the boat when it's done next year.
How much fuel does it burn?
I think it approximately burns about probably 2 to 3 gallons of diesel per hour at about 12 to 15 knots. At full speed, which is probably about 22 to 25 knots, is going to be burning probably about 15 gallons of diesel an hour.
God, imagine driving a car through a neighborhood, like the neighborhood speed limit, and burning that much fuel.
Oh yeah,
like you'd have to be
it's
holding
so
the brake down
inefficient.
at the same time. Like,
Everybody would be like just dying of carbon dioxide poisoning behind you because that's so much fuel.
Boats are so inefficient to make them go fast.
Man.
If you go at like hull speed, which is like very slow, there's some sort of mathematics that has to deal with like the water line and like the length of the boat to determine your hull speed. But pushing a boat at that speed is very efficient.
And it is.
You can go a long ways on some diesel fuel doing that if you kept it going really slow. Because it's like swimming through water. It's so easy to walk through water, but if you try to run through water, you can't.
Because the faster you want to move the water around the boat, the more force it takes.
I guess
It's like more.
But it also lifts up out of the water.
Yeah, because that's the only way I can solve this problem is to lift the boat up out of the water, and it will start to plane.
Well, you know what you need
put
to
a lot
do,
of power
Peter.
behind it.
You've already done it. You've already had this thought, haven't you?
Hydrofoils?
Yeah.
Yes, I've thought about it a lot.
So why not?
Because they're fragile, and I am a very green captain. I.e., I'm going to make a very big mistake and run into some rocks.
That's okay. You can just bolt new ones on.
Yeah. What if they like retract out of the water? Wait, what if you had them come up like wings and they're like on a hydraulic? So it's like you take the foil and you split it down the middle.
I've seen people do that, and I've kind of looked at it too. I've even thought about like even just putting some foils down there just to like partially lift, just to help lift the hull out of the water just a little bit. So it's still mostly wetted, but there's a lot less of it down there. It'll also help with some roll control. Because I've seen this thing called the hull vane that they sell for larger like cruise ships and stuff. Not really cruise ships, but like big boats where it's just a foil that sticks off the backside of the boat. It's very weird. Google like hull vane if you're at home. Check it out. It's like just a weird wing on the back of the boat. I don't really know if it's like. It seems really only optimized for a very certain speed range to be efficient. But it's like for like really large yachts. What they're selling this
big wing on top, an air wing.
Yeah, or like a propeller to lift it up out of the air.
No.
Planes are pretty efficient.
Wait, what if you put jet turbines pointing down to lift the boat out of the water?
Isn't that just called an airplane?
What? Was it bad, poo poo? You traumatized?
Is that a diaper or not? It's a pillow. What's she trying to show us? I can't see.
No, I'm just saying she's clean now.
Hi, potato.
Oh.
But I really wish I would have left her in there so you would have had to deal with that.
Oh, you wanted me to deal with podcast blowout?
All right, today you're gonna learn how to change a blowout.
Dude, it's like
in all of its graphic glory. Kevin, go get your dogs. Let them clean it up.
They would too.
Oh,
They're nasty.
They probably would.
Your dogs are nasty.
My dogs are nice. They're clean.
They're
gross. Cleaner than your little critter.
Crotch goblin.
Fuck trophy.
They don't crap themselves.
Fuck trophy.
Usually.
Crotch fruit.
That's the only thing they do is crap themselves. All right, so hydrofoils on hydraulics.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, this is really the whole point of the boat, because now I have this giant boat.
The whole point of the boat?
The whole point of the boat is to literally be a research or a support vessel for this kind of crap. Because now I'm going to make the hydrofoil boat that's really fast, but I can take it places to shoot videos.
How about they put a JADO
on the boat?
Yeah.
You'd probably just end up pushing it like straight down underwater.
Interesting theory. There's only one way to find out.
All right, well, you're going for a ride with me when we do this.
Where are my goggles?
Kevin, you need to make more rocket motors.
Okay.
For this.
They're all underground right now.
Yeah.
It's a long story.
And in the Acura.
So you could do that though. You could actually have. You only need one foil, right? You don't need.
It's better with multiple foils for a boat.
But like, you just need to get it like a little bit out of the water, right?
It depends. Like, there's semi-foiling boats, I think. I don't know. I've done some research, but
because like if you put a foil like in the middle of the boat, it would just kind of like absorb. It would just sort of push up.
Yeah.
On the boat, would you end up with like teetering, or would if you have the boat still in the water, it would self-stabilize?
I think it would self-stabilize to some degree. There's a lot going on with foils because it wouldn't be a full foiling. Like for full foiling, you need to actually have all of your aerodynamic controls there, or hydrodynamic in this case, because a lot of them have
you have to have control surfaces.
Yeah, there
on
actually
the
are control
hydrofoils?
surfaces on the foils. Like they're not very passive as far as stability goes.
That's a nightmare.
So yeah, it's complicated. Like another channel you should really check out is RC Test Flight.
Just
Daniel,
thinking about it,
he does that stuff all the time. It's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like everything is really easy until you want it to move on command, and then it's like the actuation of a foil like that. Like what? There's got to be some nightmare forces on a foil, and like the instant you want it to like pivot on command, like yeah.
So that's why I don't want to deal with it.
If it was like stationary, it would be like okay to deal with.
Just
but
a big old.
Then you have to have like a bearing that can handle all that force.
Like a nasty actuator.
Yeah,
I remember seeing like one of my old jobs. We had this like I think it was like a F-35 flap actuator. And it was a nasty thing. It was like I don't even know what it was capable of doing, but it would have crushed. It would just crush your hands. It would crush your fingers. Like it was like this block of like soup. It was witchcraft. It was fast. It was high torque. You know when you can just hear something and it sounds evil.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that was this actuator.
Like Kevin's bear trap thing out there.
Yeah. Like it's like hydraulics, but it's going way too fast to be hydraulics, but it's way too powerful to be electric.
And like you start looking at something like, oh no, this is expensive. Trying to move a foil underwater with a boat going 20 knots.
Yeah.
How much does that boat weigh?
That boat weighs about 14K.
I mean, imagine a foil that can put what 5, 6, 7,000 pounds of force up into it, and you have to actuate that. Like, great.
That's why I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, it's like
especially because like I want to go in like shallow places, or it's a little bit like it's maybe a little the wrong boat for that kind of job, but whatever. It's got a full keel, which means it's like strong. It's like supported down there, so I could literally like run onto rocks and not really sink the boat.
Okay.
What's the keel?
The keel is like, I don't know. I guess you consider it like the spine of the boat because it runs from the very bottom of the boat all the way up to the
it's like the reverse butt crack.
Yeah.
I'm bad at describing this.
Is it the point?
I'm more airplanes than boats, but it's called the keel. It's the bottom of the boat. Most boats
funny.
all have some
the like whiniest people complain about the terminology, and then you got a guy who doesn't know any of the terminology but actually makes the boats.
Actually builds the
boat. The more people know, the more words they know about boats, the less they actually work on boats. I bet.
Definitely true.
Yeah, it's like a keel on a sailboat is like the giant thing that goes down.
The Uvalia. What's the U?
Oh yeah, Uganda.
Uganda, the dangly bit in your throat. No. It's like a little dangly bit.
But then you have like the king post on the boat, which is
I've heard that.
I don't know. There's a lot of boat stuff that I don't know about. They all have like weird
boat
terms.
guys just know. You could be like,
someone's gonna rail me in the comments on
bullshit
this.
just broke last week, and they're like, bro, my bullshit broke like 2 weeks ago too.
Yeah, some guy who's never owned a boat is gonna be memeing on you.
It's like
doesn't know exactly what a keel is. Buys a $40,000 lobster boat and tears it apart. That's me,
dude. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
The keel. I know what a keel is on a sailboat. It's the dangly bit.
That's the dangly bit.
But my boat has a full keel too. But where does the keel technically stop?
So I don't know.
Oh,
because it's a down east style hull. So it's got like a keel, but then it's got a skeg that goes back from the propeller and holds the rudder.
My boat has a skeg. Does your boat have a skeg?
I don't have a boat.
That's why you no longer live in Florida, Kevin.
And you don't know boat terminology.
What are those air holes called on a boat?
Oh, the dough raid boxes. I'm pretty sure.
Dough raid.
Yeah, dough raid boxes.
The dough raid.
Dough raid. I think is DORAID.
Wait, which holes are you talking about?
They're up top. They're air holes.
Yeah, you've seen like on the Titanic those weird little horn-looking things that stick up out of the boat.
They look like
they look like on the battleship,
like tubas or something.
Yeah.
So what they are is like they keep water from going into the boat. So if they're gonna hit like directly with the wave, they've got like series of channels. They've got
like slats on them, so air can get forced down into like the engine room,
but not water.
I
guess.
I want to feel sorry for the bastard who had to realize those needed to be invented.
Yeah.
He also doesn't have a boat anymore.
Maybe his name was Dough Raid.
I don't know. Yeah.
So then you put a new motor, you put a new transmission.
Oh, God.
Did you find any other things you had to put new because of your decision to change the motor? Batteries?
Oh, here's a fun one. Everything needed to come out of the boat because the shaft was like this mixture of like bronze or something. It was called like Tolbin bronze or something, but I've never seen a bronze boat shaft. I have now. That was too small because it's a 1.75 inch diameter, and that's not enough to handle the torque of the new motor. So all that stuff had to be cut up and thrown out. So all that got ripped out of the boat,
and we're going to tie a bunch of rebar to it to reinforce it.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure that's going to work out real well. You want to get on my boat? You want to go somewhere far?
Rebar boat. So what do you replace it with?
A big 2-inch shaft made
That
out of some sort of stainless.
expensive.
Oh yeah.
How much was that?
I got a used one. The guy gave me a deal with $1,500.
That's not bad.
So he said a new one's about $3,000 for just a big piece of stainless like that.
And then how does that get out of the boat? How do you seal the hole for the shaft?
So you've seen like an old faucet where there's packing.
Yeah.
It's basically string wrapped around a nut that gets like squished up against like a threaded surface that's with a shaft through it.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to explain, but it's literally just packing. It's literally they cut little rings of rope. So it's not really rope, some sort of whatever
Fibrous,
doodad. Yeah. So basically they put these little rings of packing in there. They put the nut on, they screw it on, they kind of squish it.
Yeah.
So the water will get into that, expand it a little bit, and that seals it up as it spins.
And it doesn't
the bearings on the shaft are like further back in the hull,
it's
right?
actually
So it's not supported right at the end of the boat. It's like further back.
Well, typically there are these little like kind of like V looking things that hold the bearing there. And funny story about that, those are called cutless bearings, but people also call them cutlass bearings. Because there's some weird nautical confusion because the company that made these cutlass bearings had a sword on them and the sword is a cutlass.
Oh.
So I was reading about cutlass versus cutlass and it was like a long story. So everyone calls them this and that. And it's so exchangeable.
Yeah.
I hate that when you find a thing and you're like, what is the difference between this thing and that thing?
It's absolutely the same
thing. It's just two
Yeah, and then it makes it so hard to like find what you're looking for.
It's literally a rubber bearing too with a bunch of slits cut in it for the shaft to go through because water gets forced through it or generally just passively moved through it. So it lubricates it. Yeah. So, well, it's actually it got straight grooves, but since it's in the water flow of the boat and it's hanging off the boat, water generally kind of goes around those grooves and keeps it like free floating and keeps it cool. So it's a giant piece of rubber.
So does any water get in, or is it like perfectly sealed?
Oh no, that gets completely wet. Okay. Up inside your boat, that's where your stuffing boxes. That's what keeps the water out. Yeah.
So then
it's like a faucet, basically. A faucet, an old school faucet with a handle on it that you can repack.
So there is some water inside the hull to like lubricate the shaft.
So the thing is, when the boat's running, it's supposed to drip a little bit. When the boat's not running, it's not supposed to drip.
How much friction does all that add?
Probably negligible.
Like it doesn't freely spin though.
It doesn't super freely spin.
So
it's not
like
really
rip it, and it would just like.
It will turn in the current. Like if it's sitting there, they'll spin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like a seal like that would cause a bunch of friction.
Yeah, like a big rubber seal.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you're supposed to set the packing right. Like when I took this boat apart, I think they had the packing too tight that it literally scored and like kind of warped and melted the shaft, the brass or the bronze shaft. Because it was tapered down. I was like, why the hell can I not get this shaft out? Because I was like beating on it with a hammer and it moved a little bit. Then it got really stuck.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then I took this nut off. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, good thing I replaced this because that's crap.
I don't know how I think I would be absolutely losing my mind because I would just be like, I don't know what any of this is. I don't know how any of this works. I'm going to like sink this freaking boat.
Yeah. It's either that or just like spend money. I think the entire boat industry is built on a sunk cost fallacy because like everybody that I saw at the boat place we went to, they're like, oh yeah, I just got to like, it costs a lot more money than I thought it would, but like I'm so close to being done. I think I can finish it this season.
And then you mess like the first one up, and then you got to buy another. Like learning how to do it is where half the cost.
See, this is where I made the mistake. I thought my other boats would translate into this boat because they were just pretty affordable. It's like, I'll just spend the money up front. It'll be fine. And literally those boats cost me nothing to operate.
Yeah.
But this boat is like, well, I'm trying to do the same thing here, but it's like so much exponentially more expensive.
Oh yeah. How much is it going to cost just to run the boat? Like you said, 16 gallons per hour?
Yeah, how much would it get to be from Florida to California?
I think we tried to do the math, didn't we?
Yeah, it was like
2 weeks.
Well, the time is well beyond 2 weeks.
Oh, that's just to get to the Panama Canal.
What was it like? Yeah, the Panama Canal alone, I looked it up. It was like $2,000 potentially to get. I think we can
figure this one out, right? So let's say, can I figure this out right now? I'm bad at
I think
doing
even
math
if you went on a
fly.
kayak, it would be $2,000. Like it's like they charge you a shit ton of money to go. To
oh
Panama
yeah,
even on a small boat. Yeah.
Okay, so the boat burns. Let's say it burns 3 gallons of diesel an hour, and that's going at 15 knots. 15 knots, 3 gallons of diesel per hour. I have 140 gallons on board. What's the math for that?
Only 3 gallons per.
3 gallons, yeah, to go at 15 knots. Let's just say that's what it is.
3 gallons an hour.
Yeah, at 15
So you have
knots.
how many gallons?
I have 140 gallons.
140 divided by 3 is 46 hours.
46 hours, and 46 hours times 15, yeah.
700 knots.
700, yeah. So I could go about 700 nautical miles.
And how much does diesel cost for a ship, for a boat?
If you buy it at the marina, it's typically about probably 6 gallons of.
Is it cheaper?
$6 per gallon.
So why is it more expensive than automotive diesel?
Because it's marine
Boat.
grade.
What does that
Boat stuff.
Boat.
What does that mean?
It just means they charge you more. That's
How?
that's
Well,
it.
then why
It's
don't
the
you
boat tax.
Why don't you just fill up a huge tank?
You can. There's nothing
Oh.
stopping you. That's probably what I'm
What
going
if
to
you
be
use
doing.
red diesel?
That was literally on my boat when I bought it.
Is that fine
Oh,
or
really?
no?
Yeah, it's off. It's for off-road
Oh
use.
yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
So the
What's the
marinas
deal?
just rip you off because it's a supply issue.
yeah, because a bunch of like old crusty dudes have a lot of money, so they're figured let's just charge them, that price.
But what about young crusty dudes like you?
I get to swim, sink or swim,
They don't
daddy.
get any discount.
No, I just have to find some nice people that don't exist.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
That's evil. Because if you could use red diesel, I mean that's
Yeah,
it's
but
not
then
that
you have
much
to like
cheaper.
transport it to your boat.
Yeah.
So maybe there's like some, I don't know, cheaper places to fill up along the way.
Just get like 14 garden hoses and
Mhm.
find the
A
closest gas
couple,
station
yeah.
to the water. Just, like,
Yeah, and then I make a spill and the Coast Guard's like straight up on my ass, and I'm like charged with a huge fine.
do it at night.
Yeah.
The environmentalist in me hates you.
What environmentalist?
That's why I bought a
Get
crusty
a
old
bunch of
diesel
garbage
boat.
bags.
Did
Pickup truck.
Did you ever see that stuff? The people putting
Yeah.
gasoline in like trash bags. I think people can't get any stupider sometimes.
Did
and I
you
see
see
stuff
the
like that.
one the other day
Mhm.
of the boat being filled up through
Oh, that one's
The
the,
rod.
the rod holder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That accident happens a lot, apparently.
How?
Most people are really dumb, and the rod holder looks kind of like the gas cap when you take the gas cap off the side
It
of the boat.
fits.
There was like thousands of dollars of gas in it.
Mhm.
Though.
Yeah, I think
Like,
it was.
yeah.
No, I don't know.
I think
it
yeah,
was-
it was like $600 on the,
It
It
on
was
the thing.
something
Yeah.
insane. Like how?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, but it was, dude. There was like that had to have been like a couple hundred gallons.
Oh, really?
Like the boat was almost completely filled, and it was like a lake boat,
Wow.
and it was like just pouring out the back.
It was diesel though, right? Or was it
Gas.
I think it was
It was
gas.
gas.
Yeah.
That's
So it's a bomb.
scary.
Oh, speaking of like bombs too, boats are actually surprisingly dangerous. The gasoline versions.
Really?
Like they all come with these things called bilge blowers because after you fill your boat, you're supposed to run those things before you start it. But a lot of people
I've
don't
seen
do that.
videos.
Yeah, the videos are like wild because like
Yeah.
they get the right fuel air ratio for optimum combustion, and they don't turn the blower on. They hit the key, and it's not a sealed starter, and it sparks, and they go flying off the boat.
Yeah, like
So-
the whole like
Yeah.
hull separates in two
Yeah,
pieces.
even
so-
jet skis explode. Dude.
Yeah,
I
I
watched
see
a guy
that
get
too.
launched off a jet ski.
Yep.
It's crazy.
So it like blows fresh air through the boat, through the internals to clear the fumes.
Yeah,
or something?
it's a sealed motor, so it's not sparking, and it just blows air to reduce the volume of gasoline in there. Because it's like if you dribble a little bit,
So if you
gasoline's
turn
pretty
it
wild.
on for like only a little bit of time, you might actually make the perfect explosion.
yeah, you can do it
Yeah.
just right.
Okay, so I'm assuming you did the math on electric.
No, I just know it's bad. I just know it's really, really bad,
Yeah.
so I'm not touching that.
Like
on
how
this boat.
bad?
Like I would shoot myself, and people are gonna make fun of me kind of bad if I were to put this on YouTube.
Just for thinking about it.
yeah,
But like how bad? That's what I want to know. How bad? Like where does it land?
it's bad. It's
So
bad,
like what?
dude.
Okay, how many horsepower is 15 knots?
You know how people rail on electric trucks for no towing
Oh, the guy
capacity?
said.
The electric
ima-
trucks have a ton of towing capacity.
Well, no towing capacity and range.
Range.
Yeah, see that's the problem because it's like that.
Oh, yeah,
that's
definitely
actually
range.
that's actually another problem too. People talk about in the marine industry with like using automotive engines in the boat because they're not rated for like this duty cycle of what a boat does. Because your
Yeah.
car, you may use about 80% of the engine's performance like accelerating onto an on ramp, but then you're coasting using about maybe 20 to 10% of the engine's
Oh yeah.
rated capacity. But with the boat, you set it at like 60 to 70% and hold it there for hours on end.
Yeah.
Now imagine that with the electric motor. The electric motor is not the electric motor won't give a
You just
shit.
have to
Yeah,
override
But the
yeah.
batteries will probably give a shit.
Okay,
and I
so
like electric stuff, so I'm gonna be like probably one of the first to do it when it comes out.
how many horsepower is the engine?
380.
Okay, so if let's say you're using on average, okay, let's just say 380.
Mhm.
What is 380 to electric?
What's the Tesla? What's the motor performance in that? How many horsepower is that thing?
I think it's like 400 or 500, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 400.
You know,
500
funny
horsepower?
thing about that too. When I was
450?
installing this diesel motor, I was like, I would really love an electric motor because it would be so much easier to install than this giant diesel monster. But then I think about the battery packs, and I'm like, no.
What is How many kilowatt? 366. Model 3 dual motor. So basically, Model 3 has the same like full throttle capacity is the same as the
engine. Yeah.
So it'll go like 250 miles on land. They would probably go like what 50 in the water.
Yeah, I doubt it would get more than like 50.
So it's
and that'd be using a lot of kilowatts to do that.
Oh wait, no, that was kilowatts, not wait. Was that horsepower? No, kilowatts. It's almost 500 horsepower. So the Tesla is like 490 horsepower. So you could potentially put a dual Tesla drivetrain in a boat and run it at like 50%.
Yeah,
and that'd probably be fine.
And the thing is,
the slower you go, the more efficient it is.
Yeah, because it actually wouldn't be too bad if I was comfortable with like 5 to 6 knots.
Yeah,
I could probably make some pretty good headway with that. I could go a pretty good distance.
And then you could tow a
The problem is I'm not going to want to do that.
You could tow a barge with 30 kilowatts of power on it.
Solar panels.
I think
that's what I mean.
I do think that this is it's got to be like within the order of magnitude, right? Of plausibility. Because like you can have a shit ton of batteries in a boat.
Yeah. That boat actually is really good holding a lot of weight too. The guy that I bought it from, he said, I really like choking fish. So I put about 5,000 pounds of fish on that deck. Wow. Like that's a lot of fish.
I mean, that would be
choking fish.
Yeah, I was asking
like what is it was a gill net.
I was
right?
He was a gill netter, and I was like, "Hey, let's go get some food and finalize this deal." And it's like, "Hey, there's a fish place down the street. You want to go eat some fish?" He's like, "Oh no, I don't like fish. I just like choking them."
Jesus,
an old fisherman's accent is hilarious.
So the Model 3 is 1,000 pounds. So you could have like 5 Tesla. Well, actually, that's quite a bit of weight.
5,000
pounds
of batteries.
So if you had like 2 cars, 3 cars worth of batteries, how much does the fuel weigh?
What's a gallon of diesel weigh?
Like
it's probably
7 pounds.
Probably online somewhere. I don't think it's quite that heavy, is it?
6 pounds.
Yeah, I think diesel weight 7 pounds.
Okay.
And it's how many gallons?
7 pounds is much heavier than 100 low lead for airplanes. There's 140 gallons on board.
140 times 7. So you're talking. So basically, the fuel you have on board is the same weight as the Tesla battery
currently.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
So if you got rid of the fuel and did a single battery pack,
it's all energy density.
Yeah. Well, the fuel is way more.
Yeah, way more energy dense.
A boat is way better than a car for extra weight.
Yeah.
Like you have like airplane, car, boat, right? Because airplane's like the worst. Like you need the highest energy density.
Yeah,
so, like,
to
you can't really
continuously fly the airplane. Yeah. Because they're still doing those, and it's kind of impressive. But they only use them for short hauls.
Right.
Because the power density is just not there to fly an airplane for a long.
But you could also just fill that extra space with fuel.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking like, I know it's a stupid idea. But that's not the point.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So like
bro, my whole channel is nothing but stupid ideas.
I think the bad part is solar, right? So if you want to do solar,
yeah,
that's where it gets funky. So what is it? 1,000 watts per meter squared, and then you go like 20% efficiency at the max. So you like 200 watts per meter squared.
Yeah, I think it's more efficient than that.
Let's just say 200.
Okay.
Let's say for 8 hours, kind of thing, right?
Sure.
So it's in Florida. There's a lot of sun in Florida.
200 watts. If you average the curve from morning to evening, right?
If you average, yeah.
And then you are running at 200 kilowatts. Is that right? Is that because it was 500 horsepower? What is 2? Wait.
Yeah, no,
it was 360.
I mean, I wouldn't use the full 500 horsepower. I'd set it to much lower. I'd probably
let's
using
say 50%. So you're using, let's say, 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
Like less. So on the
realistically, if I were to do this, I'd be using 50 horsepower of the electric drivetrain. So I'd be moving maybe around 5 to 7 knots.
Okay.
Because like I'm being realistic. Like I want to get somewhere.
So that would be like.
That's like
50 horsepower,
75 kilowatts.
Something. God, that's still shit.
So you're like 50 kilowatts. So you're basically we're looking at like somewhere like 1,500 kilowatts because I feel like horsepower.
And I feel like I can.
Horsepower is like kind of messy too.
I feel like I can realistically only cram maybe about 3,000 watts of solar panels on the roof of this thing too.
No, we're not talking about the roof. We're talking about towing a
barge full of solar panels.
And you could put hydrofoils on the barge.
I thought about something like that, like pulling a hydrofoil barge because you
don't need a control surfaces.
Well, I don't. It depends how it was because I could probably make something sort of passively stable.
Yeah,
I've seen some of them,
or something.
And I've seen some that actually have like a mechanical arm that comes off that rides the waves that controls the front foil.
Oh, that's
so that
neat,
where the arm position is, that controls the angle of attack of the foil down below.
Yeah, it's like a mechanical
it's
lever.
Self-governing. Yeah,
that's cool.
All right, so let's say we do 50,000 watts divided by 200 watts is 250 meters squared. So what is the square root of 250? 250 square root. No, that's not how that works. Square root.
So you're like trying to find out. It would be so like
it's 15 by 15 meters.
Yeah.
Oh no. Good luck with that.
Or like 45 feet. It's like by 50 feet by 50 feet. That's not that bad.
It's not horrible, but like you can start to see like it is kind of actually a problem.
You know, there's this really cool thing called a sailboat.
Yeah, that's
just got one of those.
So give me that wind. You
could.
What if you make
put a windmill,
flexible solar panel sail?
Hey, I thought about that too. I thought about building one of those wing sails because I want to experiment with these, where it's a literal rigid wing, but I could put solar panels in that as well and control the angle of attack of the wing with like flaps and slats. Put it on its side and then control like the camber of the wing and do some like really weird stuff that I could probably just accomplish with a normal sail, but just do it different because YouTube.
What if you did a windmill and instead of like just generating electricity, you had it
goes
spin
straight to a shaft?
Yeah.
No, you could.
That would work, but not very fast.
I did
It's basically like a sailboat.
The string car. Remember the string car I did a long time ago? We pull backwards on the string.
I think that's what I commented on your video. It's like,
really?
Hey, yeah. It's like, remember that? It was like you were at like 10,000 subs. It's like, here before you hit 1 million.
Yeah. Then Derek stole the idea. You could definitely do that, right? Like as long as it's geared less than 1, you could have a propeller up top, a windmill.
Yeah.
And then you have it
would work
piped into your prop. And you could literally point.
Yeah, because it could directly sail upwind. Because I thought about building one of these for just some RC fun stuff. Because it would go all the way upwind.
Yeah, it would no problem.
Oh, really?
You would just choose. Yeah, because you're like,
okay.
You wouldn't have to tack, because that's the thing with sailboats. They have to tack. They cannot go directly upwind. But this
do.
propeller windmill boat can go straight directly upwind.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I should make that into a video because people are it's like the car thing again, that faster than the downwind car, but it's gonna mess with even more people. Like, there's no way that sailboat can go directly upwind with a propeller on it. And
but it has to be geared down.
Yeah, but
so you have to go slower than the wind. Or basically, yeah. That's. That would be cool. I feel like that'd be a good kind of like novel thumbnail too.
This is more of that clickbaity crap. I need to make more of that because I have like no money in my AdSense. I'm broke. Please send help.
So I think electric only works if you're going really slow, which might work for like a container ship, like a cargo ship or something. But even then, like it's just like it's like maybe too much like complexity, too much fragile crap. Like
Did you see that thing? Speaking of like cargo ships. They like it had to do with I guess that they were using crappier fuel before, so it was spewing like sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, and then for some reason like the ship stopped sailing this one route or something, or I don't exactly know why, but they stopped burning this fuel, and then global temperatures like went up by like a couple degrees. So it turns out by like pumping this like greenhouse gas into the atmosphere, you were kind of like
absorbing more sunlight.
I think it was like absorbing it, or it was reflecting some sunlight.
We need to burn more fuels, baby.
Or
we need
I don't
to bring
know
these
if it's a
temperatures
greenhouse gas or if it's just like an environmental pollutant.
Right.
But
it had a measurable effect.
Yeah, it had like a big measurable effect. And I think that's why there was like so many storms and weird.
That's bizarre.
Weird weather.
I love that it's like, you buy red diesel and you go to jail for 40 years, but if
I know
then shipping company can put
they can do all that stuff. I just love that too, like the factoring of that stuff. We're like, well, the fine for doing this is, X amount of money, but the profits we make doing it illegally are much higher. So let's continue to do it. Yeah, just pay the fee to do it. But for you go to jail.
We should make like the world's most polluting car. I don't see why you couldn't do that, right? It's like an experimental vehicle.
An inefficient way to burn gasoline, but still make the car move.
I mean, just I guess ejecting a bunch of it out. Like,
well, yeah,
like half combusting
just using the thrust of shooting the gasoline backwards.
Well, like, what's the worst fuel you could use? You could like somehow burn like
bunker fuel, like what they use on big like cargo
or the crude
ships.
oil.
The stuff you got out the side of the mountain.
The asphalt.
That's funny because that's like kind of normal to me, and that's a new experience for you.
Yeah, I was like, what? You got oil coming straight out of the ground? Are you kidding me? This is awesome.
So you went up to Sulphur Mountain in Ojai?
Yeah.
Which is like Sulphur Mountain probably has the name because it
smells like a rotten sulfur fart.
You didn't expect it at all?
No.
It was weird. I've never seen that ever.
Yeah, it just comes right out of the ground like
so
oil.
You're like walking up the hill.
It's free.
And there's like a black river.
Yeah.
Or like a creek, I guess.
Yeah. They kind of like excavated a ditch like next to the walking trail. So all the oil kind of like comes out from the side of the hill and like runs down the hill and kind of like collects in this like trench that they dug down the mountain.
Yeah, that's where all the water runs down too. We found like frogs
so I guess
in the oil.
It's like the water comes out of the mountain and it's somewhere down there. It's like mixing with oil or something and coming right out of the mountain. And so like going down the side of the mountain, there's like this barrier, right? And anything that crosses it, like we found a mouse stuck in in the oil. Yeah. We found like we found frogs, like
nature's glue trap.
Like not toads, but like frogs living in this like oily water mix. So you've got like tadpoles thriving in this crude oil and water mixture.
Teenage mutant
it's
ninja
like
frogs.
nature polluting nature.
Yeah.
Like literally
it pollutes itself.
It's like a pimple, like an earth pimple, just squirting oil out of the ground. And
see, we need to drill for oil here.
So
they need to drill more, baby.
Well, somebody
that's just ruining the mountainside.
Somebody said it's leaking because they used to drill oil.
Oh,
and they
didn't plug
out.
it. Okay, that makes sense.
And then now it's, I don't know, like once you
tap it.
Yeah.
What do they say? When you're drinking and you go pee.
You break the seal.
You break the seal.
Yeah.
They broke the seal. They shouldn't have broken the seal.
Shouldn't have broken the seal.
I was watching a thing. I was one of those like YouTube documentary channels, like the short 10-minute documentary by Boxer Vice. And it was a guy who had worked in petroleum as an executive, was going around. He had started a nonprofit where they plug the wells because there was like, back in the good old days, there was like no requirement for like a exit plan.
Oh, really?
And so they would just walk away and they would have these like tapped wells and fields.
They would just like kind of like leak.
And so they would come around, they walk around with like thermal cameras and stuff to try to find the like air disturbances, to find the leaks. And then they like mark them and then they try to like raise
like
money.
natural gas and stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff coming out. And they mark them to try to, raise money to seal them all, because it literally is just for decades. These, abandoned wells are just ejecting.
So you're telling me there's free energy somewhere? We can
basically, but they won't tell you where it is because they literally just walked away from it, like decades ago. And there was zero. I mean, imagine like you're allowed. You can just like you can go and mine in the side of the mountain. You can have a quarry and pull limestone out, and there's zero requirement for you to not just like leave an unfenced off, unsecured giant pit in the earth.
Oh,
like
there's tons of those caves that haven't been mines that haven't been sealed up.
And it's just like you can just leave it like that. That's fine.
Except this is a mine, but it's got flammable poisonous gas coming out of it.
I know. And it's someone else's problem to pay for closing it up.
Didn't like a whole town in California kind of like catch on fire once?
San Francisco?
No, it's
that's
like
a whole state, Kevin.
No, there's like somewhere in California there's like methane leaking from the ground, so they had to evacuate some town.
Wait, was it like an oil company thing?
Maybe.
Or was it natural leak?
I can't remember. I think it's natural.
There was a leak in Los Angeles where I think the natural gas storage field, because like natural gas is stored in underground reservoirs. So it's stored in like old oil fields.
Oh, okay.
So like they pump the oil out and then they like pump the natural gas literally into the ground.
Yeah.
So they like seal to the well.
It like pressurizes it.
Yeah. So they
like liquefies it.
Right. And guess how they keep track of how much natural gas they have in the reservoir?
I don't know.
They put more water in
a dipstick.
They literally they keep track of how much they pump in.
Yeah, that's what I figured how they do it, because I think that's what they have to do now. They have to replace it with something. Yeah.
And so they fill it full of gas, and then they pull the gas out, and they're just kind of keeping a tally on it.
Yeah.
And it's like super pressurized, so they have to like pump it. I don't even know what pressure it's under.
Some unholy,
yeah. It's like I think it maybe a couple thousand.
Definitely.
Just a couple years ago, I learned about.
I think they should put like a mixture of oxygen and acetylene down in there, and then
dude, it would be bad. But if you look at the size of the field too, like it's massive.
Really?
Like it was like under the city.
Yeah.
And so there was one area somewhere in LA where it like had like it wasn't properly sealed, or there was something where it was like coming out through the ground, and it was. People were saying it was like making kids in the neighborhood sick or something. I don't know all the details of it, but
yeah, I think this was more of like a rural hillside community kind of thing.
It actually exploded.
I don't know if it exploded, but definitely some like pillar of flames popped up or something like that on the side of the hill, like just gushing methane.
It's better than letting it drain. I think that's what they do is they will burn off the gas, right? Like,
yeah, I mean that would be cool too.
Because
that's what they do in Texas.
Because it's not worth keeping it, I guess, or maybe it is. I don't know.
Fly over Texas at night and like the right parts of Texas, and you can see like little flames just like dotting like, you know, the hillside. The
so we're sitting here trying to figure out like the best way to do everything with the boat, like the hydrofoil, this and that. Here they're like throwing
it all
probably
out.
tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I know, they just lighted it on fire.
Yeah,
it seems like can't they like you know like make that go into some generation thing on plant?
Yeah, but
or,
the spreadsheet calculates it to be
I guess
not worth it right now.
Yeah,
it's like damn, what do you do with that? It's
world's
like
biggest candle.
Like the California government decides like letting all this oil just leak out of the mountain and run into the river.
Yeah,
Well,
that's actually
it's
that's actually the worst thing to do because it's killing all the wildlife now. And it's like
I don't know the deal. With
Well, I think
that.
some of it's natural because I know that there is some like you know like the La Brea tar pits, right?
Yeah,
That's
it came out
natural.
naturally. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's some of those like offshore too. Because I was reading like trying to find more of these places like Sulphur Mountain, and they say that there's a lot of stuff like that out in the water. So
it washes up on the beach.
Yeah, they like I've seen blobs of like this giant like. It's thick. It's not like
it sometimes can get like turn into like a putty too.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I saw. Like pictures of almost like a putty.
And it gets on your foot or hand. You touch it, and it looks like poop smeared. It's like a light brown, and you can't get it off. And the only thing that gets it off is WD-40.
Oh, really? Got to fight.
We're just rubbing it in the dirt. I just rub my shoes in the dirt, and it's like it went away.
I mean,
you got to rub it on like small animals. and stuff like
the fur picks it up really well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Baby ducks.
Frogs too. You can rub it on like a frog.
Frogs are good.
Mice, dead mice.
Oh yeah,
plenty of those.
Dude, that's like that makes you realize like how that La Brea carpet.
He gave his life to turn into oil.
Yeah,
just without the pressure.
A couple 100,000 years, that mouse is going to be burning in some sort of vehicle here on.
Yeah,
but like nothing is going to eat that mouse.
No way.
If it stayed submerged in the oil,
they could try.
Like
and
what?
Guess what? You got more oil.
Yeah, it's literally what. It just is going to stay a nasty mouse, right?
Yeah.
It won't rot.
No, I don't think so. I think it'll just like stay there and kind of like
fester
everything.
Away.
Everything will eventually get turned into oil, maybe except for the bones.
Turns into jelly. Kind of
Maybe
just like
jelly.
like
turns into hydrocarbons.
beef jerky. Yeah, that's a NileRed video. Turning a mouse into hydrocarbons. fueling my car with mice.
Destructive distillation of a mouse, of a field mouse.
Putting a mouse in a centrifuge.
Alive or dead?
Well, I mean, I guess
we can get another mouse.
Wait, you know how we made water by like distilling diamonds or something like that?
The carbonation. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Carbonated water. Well, I was thinking you could probably just distill a mouse and get water.
What would happen
and everything else
if you stuck, like, you know, the high-speed centrifuges? Were we talking about that? The ones that exploded?
Yeah, like the ultra centrifuges.
Yeah. If you stuck, how fast of a centrifuge would you need to just put a fly in it?
Yeah.
And it just completely breaks it down into all the
like
different
the
densities.
cellular components.
Yeah.
Oh whoa.
Like what? I feel like there's somebody who has an intuitive answer to that.
Yeah.
Like imagine you just stick the fly in and then it comes out looking like a 7-layer bean dip. Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
Would you rather eat the whole fly or the centrifuged fly? Wait, what if you made an entire glass
Is it
of
like a
water
fun dip?
from centrifuged fly?
And you just like take out the couple milliliters of water, like the
yeah,
water
and you just
layer.
add it up so you have an entire glass of water extracted from flies.
You know, one layer.
Oh my God.
I bet certain layers taste way better than other layers.
Oh my! What would that? What if you? Wait, you could totally do that.
You could.
You could like eat specific components of things.
Yeah.
Like if you centrifuged like something.
I have a freeze dryer at home.
What? How long is it? It's
54 minutes.
But we're just
we're great.
we're just getting to the good part.
Yeah.
It's now the incoherent ramblings.
Would you drink water extracted from 10,000 flies, like a glass of water, if you knew it came from flies?
I mean, if it was clean.
If it was cleaned, I mean, it's clean.
Yeah, pretty clean.
Like a lot of water's clean from toilet water and whatnot. I go through processes.
Could you extract like apple juice in a centrifuge? Man, what kind of weird things could you put in a centrifuge? Why does potato need me?
Because Mama said so.
Do you want to give me a potato? Give me a potato.
It's too hot here though.
But
If
I.
you have a few minutes, it's fine.
Yeah.
You
Give me a
can't be
potato.
here for more than, like,
Potato.
Okay. She just woke up from
Potato.
a nap.
Tell Sandra that Daddy needs his baby too.
Oh, okay. Which one? The good one or the shitty one?
Both.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm scared to answer that question. I don't know what she's gonna bring out.
Centrifuge fly. No. No.
Just wait for it.
We have the first safety third live vomit.
Let's go.
What are you upset about?
The heat.
Nothing. She's just like a really.
Your child is vapor locked.
How do you feel about the upcoming climate disaster?
Should we reinstate the one-child policy in the U.S.?
It's not all the answers.
She's like, I want to be the only one.
It's just like a very high maintenance like pet.
Your child's gonna watch this podcast and be like, "Wow, Dad, fuck you."
I mean, it's like a little drunk person. Like she just sends it, like just full commits to like falling over.
Oh, she yawned.
Yawn usually ends with some sort of like
Oh,
thrash.
look, she's touching trash. She's looking to go back to her home.
She knows
Trash.
She belongs. Oh my god, this is a nightmare. What is happening?
Aw. You brought me Pubert the squirrel. Oh, good boy. It's because he's hairy. There you go.
Friend?
All right, how many flies would you need to make a 8-ounce glass of water?
How much?
Well, we're
liquid
like
is in them?
70%
Yeah.
water, and a fly probably weighs
gotta
like
be.
a half gram. And,
Yeah, 'cause,
and
like,
a glass of water is
So, like,
300 grams.
You can see like a dead fly in the windowsill, and it's like mummified, and like most of the water is out of it, and it's still like mostly there. I don't think there's that much water in them.
No, I think each fly might have a tenth of a gram of water, so you would need 3,000 flies.
What would happen if you distilled flies? Because you distill like lavender or like other like aromatic plants to get the oils out. Like, could you make like a fly candle that was like essence of fly?
You probably could.
Well, the thing is,
Like,
like, they're not really known to smell, though.
Well, that's what,
They're annoying.
I think
if
that's
you concentrate 3,000 of
I
them.
wonder what it would smell like.
Flowers don't really smell like much until you concentrate it either.
What, would it smell bad?
Depends on what fraction you distilled. It might smell great.
Hey, I got that fly in the bottle on your desk, Kevin. I caught a giant fly in his
this
house.
is a big fly.
Yeah, I stuck up on it and like shoved it in the bottle. It was sitting on the windowsill.
Would people get mad at that experiment?
If people get mad at everything, just do it.
I have a fly trap set up at the house right now.
Are you allowed to distill flies on YouTube? Is that against the policy? Like, because you can it's pretty standard to get a trap, like a yellow jacket trap.
I found
I know
people
that-
sympathizing for mosquitoes.
Really?
Yeah, in the comment sections and unironically too. And I'm like, I hate you.
Cody got in trouble for putting a grasshopper in a microwave.
Action Lab got in trouble for putting a fly in a vacuum chamber. TechRax got in trouble for pouring molten aluminum on African hissing cockroaches.
Okay. So,
What can I pour on you?
What if?
But then again, you just you can eat animals, right? It's like cruel if you're just doing it for fun. But if you're eating the animal.
Okay, so
it's
one
science.
time, here's my theory. I have a theory based off experience.
Okay.
So I used to go crab fishing
Crab fishing?
off the pier because you don't need a fishing license. And I would bring the nets and the bait, and then I would just bring my notebook and kind of, write. I was trying to solve whatever, trying to write some software, writing some math and stuff to figure out what to do. So I would just, you throw the net in the water, you wait 40 minutes, and while you're waiting, you just, it's like going to a coffee shop, but there's crabs.
Yeah.
Anyways, to cook the crabs, you boil the water and you throw the crab in.
Yeah.
And it kills the crab really quickly.
Yeah.
So one time I went fishing at night with my friends and I caught a spider crab with them that was so big the legs were sticking over a foot out of a 5-gallon bucket. So the head was in upside down
Yeah.
and the feet were a foot out of the bucket. So we got the biggest pot we could find. We filled it up with water. We got it boiling. But the problem is that the crab was a lot of volume.
Oh, so cool down the water below boiling.
Oh.
Oh no. So what kind of sounds did it make?
Dude, I did not know what to do and I felt so bad.
Oh no.
It was bad. It was a big aluminum pot and it just was not big.
And it was
enough.
boiling and it
was just thrashing around for way too long. And it was just panicked. And I'm like, what do you do? You can't do anything. Then I realized every time you go to there's a crab, I might have closed down. There's a crab place near here.
Yeah.
And they have a massive pot of water. And it's okay, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about that. I did not think that the crab would have so much thermal mass that it would actually stop the water from boiling and drop the temperature that much. Anyways, I think that if you were to put the flies in a distillate, you would just kill them in hot water and it would be really quick and then it would be okay.
Okay.
I think there's something about the filming the suffering that's bad.
Yeah.
So if you end their suffering quickly,
it's fine.
It's better. Yeah. I mean, like.
Yeah, that's like that conundrum too, like people that fish. Like when you catch a fish, like what do? Do you throw it in the cooler and let it suffocate and freeze to death? Do you take out the priest rod, which is basically a big stick, and smash it over the head?
The horny bonker.
Yeah. I basically had a pair of channel locks. I had to do this with the fish because we didn't have a hammer on.
Did you hit it or crush it?
I think I might have crushed it by the time I was done.
It was not narrow enough.
Like that. Oh no, I didn't do that. I didn't go like, here's a fish brain, squish. And there was also like the lancing thing, which has like a Japanese term where you like go between its eyes and you just poke it.
Yeah.
That one seemed to be the least cruel because it just like fish, you could tell when it was dead because it would just go like and just stop moving. Or the fish bunker was like, I don't know. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Avengers when Thor gets a hold of Loki?
Oh, just the thing.
Bam, bam.
The whole. I'm taking you guys on a fishing trip, and it will be fun. We don't know what we're gonna do. We don't know what we're gonna catch, but it's gonna be
bring
fun.
Our fish bunker.
Yeah.
You gotta learn to bonk some fish.
Oh my god, you think people are gonna make fun of you for not knowing the terms of boats?
The fishing's
said
gonna be
the wrong
worse.
superhero in a Marvel movie.
That's the worst audience.
Dude.
No, honestly though, I think that
Just
now you
execute
can get
me.
away with it.
No, I should be executed.
Back when
Marvel is cringe now. I'm sorry, but it's cringe now.
It is
it's kind of cringe.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
They like oversaturate.
Good,
I don't care to consume the next Marvel thing. I got better things to do with my time.
Like I haven't seen.
Wasted on boats.
I haven't gone to the movie theater in a long time.
I think the last thing I saw was that new Spider-Man one with the 3 Spider-Mans. That one was pretty good. But other than that, everything other Marvel thing I just don't care about.
Yeah.
That
was
that
Sony.
one.
And the animated one was pretty good too. That came out.
This first one, I didn't see the second.
I haven't seen any Marvel
Yeah.
movies since Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of in there. Yeah.
None of them I don't really care about anymore. Just like, it just seems like product that you have to consume.
The Disney Plus shows were kind of like, that was sort of the beginning of the end for me.
Oh yeah.
Like I think the first one was good, the WandaVision, and then like the next one. I just like, it slowly started feeling kind of like
consume product.
Watered, like diluted.
Consume.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Doctor Strange came out and that was like, I think measurably bad. And I was like, oh, okay.
And then She-Hulk.
I didn't even get that far. Nope. It stopped way before that. Sad.
I haven't even seen it, but I just know all those.
I just see the memes
shows
where people make fun of it.
Weren't that good because I didn't see a lot of memes about them.
Yeah. Well, I saw one where the She-Hulk, she was like clapping, like it was like terrible CGI.
Yeah.
But the meme was like when the plane lands and everyone claps and it's just horrible. I was like, that one's good.
This is a picture I sent a thumbnail I found on YouTube of the She-Hulk sitting on a couch with Shrek.
That one's great. Yeah.
The alternate ending.
Yeah.
See, now I gotta subscribe to Disney Plus to see that.
I don't even. Chelsea watches a bunch of, which I honestly don't. I watch Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is the only thing I look at for my.
What show are you watching right now? If you're such a man of culture, what kind of what are you watching?
I feel like I'm back on the Trash Taste podcast. Dude, I read the comments on the Trash Taste podcast and they were like absolutely tearing me apart for my anime opinions.
What show are you watching, Will?
The vending machine one. My life as a vending machine.
That's actually an anime.
I died and went and got reincarnated as a vending machine, and now I crawl the dungeons.
It's like good.
Or something like
it's
that.
good in the sense that it's so stupid that it's kind of just like a novel idea.
It's like I think it's like a self-aware isekai.
It definitely
anime.
It goes to a couple of places where you're just like, is this being written by a bunch of just like perverted, teenage boys? like there's one bit in the show where he like turns into because he can switch between different vending machines. Yeah. And for no reason, completely out of the blue, the like mayor of the town is like, oh, we're having a problem in this town, blah, blah, blah. And they like
there's too many people coming because we've had like.
Yeah, and they want people to be safe. And then he turns into a condom vending machine. And like that was it was literally like a minute. And then that never comes to the plot again.
Yeah, the mayor's like, we have too many refugees coming in and we don't have enough food. How can we keep them safe? And he's like, oh, I got it.
It was like, and then the last episode, he like turns into a tampon dispenser, like a pad dispenser too. And he's like, I noticed that like she has an off day every month, like once a month. And then it's like, oh my God, who is like,
I don't know what show this is, but it sounds hilarious.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's like a total like.
So wait, when he like, does he vent a product? Does that take part of him with it?
So he dies in the real world, and then he
was killed by a vending machine.
Was he actually?
Yeah, I think so. Right? Like, didn't he crash it? Like a vending machine fell off a truck and hit him or something.
Right, sounds exactly like.
Or I think it was just like he ran his scooter off a cliff.
Stupid, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
but I don't remember exactly. I don't know. It's a great show. I don't remember any of it.
Great show.
I don't know, it sounds like I gotta watch one of these
He
episodes.
literally is just a vending machine that can dispense things. He doesn't pay for the things, but he has to like get people to buy it.
Who restocks him?
It's like it's like magic. It's like a magic world.
Yeah.
And he like can get points, and he's almost like a player in the game, but he can't like do anything. He can't like move or anything. So he like this really strong girl finds him. Total coincidence. She like carries him around all the time. And
Vending machine. Those things are fucking heavy.
yeah, she's like blessed with strength.
Yeah.
And it's like he like it's almost like a really shitty One Punch Man where it's like here's this like really weird hero who solves these like kind of classic tropes in like non-traditional ways.
Yeah.
And it's really
he has like a force field that he can use, but it costs like a bunch of points like per minute. So
and he can turn he solves problems by turning into different types of vending machines. So he can like transform into different vending machines. And it's
yeah, you know,
it's exactly
it's pretty good.
It's exactly what it needs to be, and I don't really think it could be made better because it's such a stupid concept.
The plot itself is already kind of broken.
For how stupid of a concept
that's how I feel.
Like,
like the absurdity of it makes it. Like,
I don't know. It takes some real talent to make something good like that, where it's a broken plot, but you can make it entertaining to watch.
It's kind of like a novelty, like a novelty show.
Definitely.
The other one I watched was I've been procrastinating a lot. Black Clover. It just feels like it's like a kid's show, but like really violent.
Oh, okay.
It's like blood and stuff. So I'm like, it's kind of weird. It's like it feels like a Saturday morning cartoon until you know there's just like
it's like Pokemon, but the Pokemon die.
Yeah. Like it's not good, but it's sort of just. I mean, it's okay. It
was like that show, Invincible on Amazon.
Oh my god,
that one was great.
Oh yeah,
I watched it. I was like, oh, it seems like a kid show. And then by the end of that first episode, I was like, this is great.
Shit.
I don't watch the next one.
Yeah, I think that one's coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I actually like that show.
What was that other show you were watching? The anime with like the guy that's not magic, but he lives in a town of magic people.
The wizard one.
The wizard one.
It was like it's clearly like a Harry Potter fan, like someone who's really into Harry Potter wanted to make like a show.
Yeah.
And so they like made a parody of Harry Potter, and the like Harry, like the main character, it doesn't have magic, and they kill people that don't have magic. They don't like people without magic, and so his like adoptive father,
and Harry Potter.
It's like really bad. Again, One Punch Man.
It's like such a
Harry
stretch.
Potter.
Like they setting up like building this world is such a stretch. Like for them to try to make sense in the first few episodes, it's like
measurably
what's going on?
bad, but it's still like that kind of so absurd that
And then he's like in this school, right? So he has to be like. He wants to win valid Victorians so they don't kill him.
Yeah, and then
they have to have magic fights, and he just like punches everybody.
So he's just really strong. Is the whole plot is that like instead of using magic, everyone else relies on magic, and he's like super buff, like he uses strength, and they're not used to somebody who's that strong, so he just kicks the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Like there's one bit where they have to fly on a broom for like one of the tests, and then he just starts moving his legs really fast and he's like flapping his legs. It's just stupid.
Okay.
It's just so dumb.
It's like he lives in a forest and he's not allowed to go to town because if they find him, they'll kill him. So he goes to town anyway because he wants some kind of like
cream puffs.
So he wants some cream puffs, and then of course they find him and they like corner him, and then he like kicks.
And they just like kicks. He like accidentally. It's
yeah. He like kicks the policeman's ass and then runs back on accident. Runs back to his house, and then they're like, "We're gonna kill you unless you enroll in this school and become the number one." Like, like top of your class, and then you're okay.
And then the guy who was like the evil villain in the first episode almost becomes like a supporter of him, like a supporting background character that you like almost never see again.
Yeah,
like they almost had to bring that original character back to like make sure that it didn't completely fall apart. And it's like, it's so, it's just like.
It's like
I don't want to say it's bad because
you didn't even need that first episode. Like you could totally have the season without that. Like, it would have made perfect sense.
Oh no!
Sounds like I need to get my boat done so I can watch.
You should watch more
shows.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of things on there.
Things?
Yeah, bad. I don't want to say good shows. It's definitely guilty. Like it's like fast food.
Yeah.
Cry louder.
I'd rather play BattleBit.
Or
you gotta play BattleBit. That's great.
Baldur's Gate.
You said something else. You said Baldur. It's Baldur's, right?
I don't know. Baldur? Did I say Baldur?
You said Baldur, I think.
Ballgate.
Ballgate. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Safety Third podcast.
If you play Baldur's Gate, tell us how to defeat the harpies.
Yeah, tell us how to defeat the booby harpies. The first time we saw boobs in the game, they shredded. They kicked our ass.
Dude, that's why they're called harpies.
Dude, we were trying to run.
Yeah,
we literally couldn't even run. And then they like murdered a little boy.
I know, and that's what I knew. I was screwed.
I was like, uh-oh.
Because that little boy, I think, was probably a higher level than we were.
Yeah, we got absolutely wrecked. Thanks to everybody who supports us on Patreon. Look at that. We're back in action.
And you've got more problems than you bargained for.
Right here.
Feed it to the baby.
And I'm going to feed it to the baby.
Oh, she's got it in her hand.
She's got it in her hand. What's she going to do with it? Oh, she's eating it.
She's eating the name.
She ate the name. Oh, she really?
She's actually in character. She's doing the whole thing.
Yum, yum.
It tastes good. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Dude, it's so hot in here.
It's really hot. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure your child is dying. We should probably end this.
And then, if you want to support us on Patreon, we've been posting a bunch of the extra content. So we got videos like
we have.
So one of the videos got super claimed.
Oh, so the anime.
Oh, the pissing contest.
Yeah.
We had a pissing contest, Kevin and Alan and I. So if you want to see who pees the farthest, that's on Patreon as well. There's a bunch of exclusive content on Patreon for anybody who wants to support the podcast.
A bunch of stuff coming out.
Yeah, and we've got a bunch of stuff filmed and going out, and we're working on it. You okay down there?
She's gonna pass out.
God, what name did she eat? Whose name did she eat?
She's just sending it. I'm telling you, it's like a little drunk person. All right, I'll see you guys next time. We'll see you on Patreon.